Welcome everybody to the Lucky 7 first video workshop. I've collected my supplies that I'm going to be using for the first page, and I'm going to go through a couple of techniques on this page, and I'll finish up the page and then show you the finished product. For this page, I've collected a couple of photos. In the Lucky 7 kit are some really great papers, and I've used one of my favorite papers for printing is from Hawk Mountain, and this is their Merlin paper. So I've taken their Merlin paper, and I can print on a 12 by 12 because I have a printer that's capable of doing that. If you have an 8.5 by 11 size is the biggest you can do, we can always do a lot of cutting and pasting and putting things together. Here's just a sample. I'll show you up close if you can see it. I don't know how good the light is in here, but I'm really pleased with the way these have printed up with my printer. They're just plain white on the back. So when we tear, we're going to get that really cool white edge. Here's some others that I've printed also. I like that. All the details have shown up. There's folds and bends in there. I've also taken from the Lucky 7 kit, the ephemera kit, and I've created my own 12 by 12 page and put on there the elements that I thought I might want to use, and they printed up really great too. Then there's a Lucky 7 vintage stamp kit in there, and I took those. Now you'll notice that I printed right side up, and I also printed mirror. And when I'm going to be using these, there may be times when I want them right side up, but I'll also be telling you when you need to make sure when you're printing that you choose the mirror option so that you get them flipped, because when we use them we're going to have them turned over. We'll need to be cutting those to size. And then the last thing we're going to be using today is this really cool stencil. This is from the Crafters Workshop, and you can get this stencil at a lot of different places online. It's the Crafters Workshop, thecraftersworkshop.com, and you can go there and look and see where you can find this stencil. Got my bottle water ready, and then I'm choosing today to use the Golden Gel Medium, the regular gel matte. Of course, have your brush ready and scissors ready. I've also got some water over here to the side. So let's get started. Let's start. First thing we're going to do, so I'm going to take the reverse, the mirror image I went ahead and printed 2, and this is just regular printer paper. Printed 2 of these, and I'm going to cut out the one that says the big 7 on it. I'm going to cut that down, and I'm going to be putting that right over here. So I'm going to be taking my brush, and I'm going to be putting on the gel medium, the regular gel matte medium. You want to make sure that you're putting it on big enough to cover your area. Give it a nice thick coat and smooth it out. This is going to be a transfer using this matte medium. You just put it right there in the gel, and I don't have quite big enough over here to the side. Okay. Just lay it, print down right on your medium. And I need to cover a little bit more here so I can catch that line. And then you just want to press it on. Use your fingers. A brayer, if you have a brayer, you could use a brayer. Then I like to check it after a little bit. Now you really got to press hard on this. See if you're getting a transfer, and I am getting a transfer, good. And you just lift your paper. And I'm very, very pleased with that transfer. Oh, that turned out great, great. Now I'm going to take my blow dryer. I'm going to skip and come back to you in just a minute, but I'm going to take my blow dryer and completely dry this. Before I go ahead and dry it with my dryer, I am going to cover this with the matte, with the gel, the golden gel medium, and I'm just going to barely put that on there because I don't want that to smear, and I don't want it to be, if I put anything else on this, I don't want that to come off. So I'm just going to go ahead and cover that. And then I'm going to dry that, and I'll be right back. All right, that's dry now. And what we're going to do next is we're going to take our stencil. And I love this stencil. One of my favorite stencils. Now I'm going to put this over here to the side. Before I began, I did a test of some different paints that I wanted to use, some different acrylic paints, and that test is right here. Went through and did a test to see which one that I liked, and I ended up picking one called Barn Red. You may want to do a sample test in the back of your journal book to see which colors would look best. But I'm going to be using a Barn Red. I'm going to be putting just a little bit. Put just a little bit here on my palette. Now there's two brushes that you could use for this. You could use a regular brush, a small one, or you can use your sponge brush and pounce this on. Show you what they both look like. Now I'm going to be using these over here along the edge. And I don't want to cover this completely. I want to kind of give it a look of depth like a brick wall would have. So I'm mostly going to pounce the color on along the edge. And it's going to be very dry brush. I'm not going to use much paint. In fact, I'm actually, here, I'll show you what I'm doing. Getting the paint, and then I'm actually kind of brushing off a lot of that extra paint. You'll go through here and you'll just pounce it on. And I'm mostly going to pass this on along the edges and then pull a little bit out. So you pounce it on. Then I can use my brush, kind of pull that paint out. But I really love this messy look because it looks a lot like brick to me. You can use any color you like, gray, red. Any of those colors would look great for this. You can use a combination of colors too. Now be careful, if you get this too wet, what's going to happen is it's going to soak underneath the stencil, and you don't want that to happen. I'm going to pull some over here too.